to try someone on a repealed law. I'm a lawyer and I'm saying the same thing. The way people misunderstood it, repealed law does not obliterate the offenses, but the repealed law changes the mechanism, the procedure. It changes the game. It's a game changer. I can give you an example. Up to the time of General Abdul Salami Abubakar, we had the Armed Forces and Firearms Decree. And we had the Armed Forces and Firearms Tribunal.
Okay.
Empaneled mostly by military officers. And the punishment for armed robbery and some firearms offenses of the egregious kind was firing squad. And oftentimes you'll be taken to your village to be shot. Some kind of a shaming of your family. Or if you don't have a family, they take you to the bar beach in Lagos at the shooting range and shoot you. But once Abdul Salami left power and 1999 Constitution came into force, the laws of the Federation of Nigeria relating to and firearms reverted to the pre-existing law, which is the criminal code and the penal code for northern Nigeria and criminal code for the rest of the country. So anybody who had a pre-existing armed robbery case no longer faced a military tribunal. You faced the regular court. And the regular court convicted you, you were no longer subjected to to facing a firing squad in your village square or at the bar beach. You'll be subject to the punishment stipulated in the current law in force. And the current law in force is the criminal code or the penal code. So if they say life imprisonment, that's what you get. If they say 15 years imprisonment, that's what you get. But in Nnamdi Kanu's case, the law changed after the offenses were preferred against him. So he was in the process when the law changed. And there are advantages brought by the new law. Under Section 12 of the Nigerian Constitution, I think Section 36 of 12, a defendant or a suspect is allowed to take advantage of changes in the law. So you cannot relate back to punish him or give him a harsher punishment. So he was saying in effect, you have the right to try me. Yes, I concede to it. But it has to be clear to me under which law you are proceeding, so that I'll be able to, put forward my defense. I'll be able to adduce my defense. Am I adducing my defense under the old law, which is now moribund, or am I adducing my defense under the new law? That was where everything came to a head. And the disagreement occurred. But the judge proceeded anyway and convicted him under the old law. So these very two issues I brought out should be illustrative enough of what is wrong with that judgment. And we shall lay these things along with the other reasons before the Court of Appeal.
Nnamdi Kanu is, since he was brought back from Kenya, adopted from Kenya down to Nigeria, his organization, which he headed, or he's still the head, IPOB, there's been a lot of squabbles within them.
Okay.
Is it in any way affecting the trust of the people in the struggle?
Well, there is no organization, even a country, that you will not have skirmishes. Even the best well-ordered societies, you do have skirmishes within and without.
I want you to pay close attention to this part of the interview. This part of the interview is very important in relation to the topic we are discussing today, redeeming the image of Biafra. It is important, and the actions that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have taken lately to activate this redeeming of image. I want you to pay close attention to this part of the interview. It is very important. Pay attention. You're going to learn a lot.
So IPOB is not insulated from such clashes. But at the end of the day, the question you have to ask is, where does Mazen Nnamdi Kanu stand? He is my client, and I stand where he stands. If he issues instructions to me, it's my duty, under the ethics of my profession, to carry them out. So where he stands is where I stand, and that is where I think the general public should stand.
Where does he stand?
Where he stands is that he considers IPOB almost single-handedly, and he appointed some people as principal officers. And as a lawyer, I'm here to tell you that if someone has the right to appoint you, he has the right to fire you.
Yes.
So if this is the issue, well, people should accept things in good faith. Even myself as a lawyer, sitting here today, and I introduce myself as his special counsel, he has the right to fire me.
Definitely.
And if he does, I'll go home. I will not engage him in social media brickbat and, war of attrition, war of words, war of blackmail, and what have you. So if any one of you is listening, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appointed you to a certain office in the IPOB, and he says, I've lost confidence in you, or I think you are tired, you should go home, let me appoint someone else. It does not diminish you.
No.
He has the right to do that. But you get diminished when you challenge that. IPOB is not a gainful employment where you have employees' rights and so on and so forth, and you take your boss to court for firing you. It's not. It's a freedom fighting movement that should have strict and narrowly tailored command and control that should stop at the hands of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The buck stops at his table. So when he takes decisions, even though tough and unpleasant sometimes, you just have to abide by those decisions. So I stand by him. I stand by any decision he takes. The only duty I owe to him is to advise him truthfully and faithfully, and leave him to take these decisions.
But right now, where does he stand? Like currently, where is he stand? Is it on the constituted people, the DOS that he has constituted, or what? Where is?
Well, I can tell you here. I've answered the question.
Okay.
He stands by the fact that if I constituted you and unconstituted you, you should go home.
Okay.
So if he constituted some people you mentioned, and he decides, I'm going to reconstitute you,
yes,
or I am going to send some of you home, so he can take a risk, let younger people or more committed people or whatever people should take over for now. You go home. You don't challenge him on the theory that I had enunciated before. It applies to me. If he tells me, a lawyer, give me your file, my file, and I don't want you to represent me anymore, I'll go home, and he will forever remain my friend. I will not come to social media and start attacking him and blackmailing him and try to form some kind of parallel legal practice against him, or take him to court or whatever. Lawyers, we have our own strength. So I will not start fighting my ex-client. Rather, I will find a way to make him my friend. He could call me again in the future for some other assignment.
Yes. All right, sir. So, this struggle, to the best of our knowledge, did not start today.
Yeah.
Way beyond the Civil War, which happened in 1967 to 1970. Gowon played a capital role in the war. And 3 million people were lost. And just a few days ago, he made a statement that palm trees were fired.
That?
Palm trees were fired. That his army were shooting the palm trees. How would you respond to that?
Well, that statement is quite unfortunate. I was amongst the very first people that came out, because I read his book quickly. I had access to the e-copy of the book, General Gowon. Yes. I respect him as an elder statesman, but I also have the right to criticize him.
Definitely.
He's not beyond reproach. Even the Pope is not infallible. So I read his book and I found some faults in the book, maybe some distorted historical accounts. And I read other books, and I'm not a small boy. I was born way before the war. Okay, so I knew some of these things by sight and sound. I saw them happening, and these things were not presented as he did in the book. So I criticized him, and that part about bullets shooting palm trees is unfortunate. I think it offended the sensibilities of Igbo people, or people of former Biafra, or former Eastern Nigeria. But guess what? One Dambature, I think Garuba Dambature, he issued threats against me. He made an amateur video where he threatened me that I was insulting Gowon, that Northerners respect Gowon, that I'm insulting Gowon. If I insult Gowon again, then maybe they will deal with me. He introduced himself as president or leader of Arewa Youth. Okay? You are telling us that Gowon is northern leader. I thought he was head of state of the entire country. And you're belittling him now as a tribal leader. It's quite unfortunate. So I'll tell Dam Bature, Garoba, and his corps, wherever they are, the position I took is protected by the Constitution. I never insulted Gowon. I criticized the book, and I think when he published the book, he expected some critic
to come on.
And the Gowon that everybody knows probably would not share the same view as this Dan Bature. A lot of people have done that. I don't know why they singled me out. Maybe because I'm Mazin Nnamdi lawyer, or maybe because my criticism got deeper, maybe much deeper than the other people said. So I don't know what it is, but the jury is still out, and the discussion is ongoing. So if they are going to be threatening more people, they should be ready to threaten more people. But that book will continue to be discussed in eternity. Because the only way he couldn't have discussed the book is that he didn't publish it.
The book at all.
Thank you.
All right. So lastly, 4 years ago, 30 years ago, the Minister of Justice, Alberta, Canada, Kelechi Madam, raised an alarm, advocated for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. The United Nations ordered the release of Nnamdi Kanu. There was a debate in the House of Lords in England, Britain, for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And all these things fell to deaf ears. As a legal person, with all this international community interfering, is there no consequence to disobeying them?
Well, like I said, some of the diplomatic consequences of the interdiction of Nnamdi Kanu and how he has been treated within Nigeria's legal system, maybe most of them will not be out in the open. I'm sure there are covert or hidden diplomatic consequences, not in terms of sanctions or boycott or whatever. But I'm sure a lot of nations must have had some cold feet in dealing with Nigeria in terms of a lot of things. If you read the last State Department of United States counter reports, it was very harsh in criticizing Nigeria's legal system. And this case of Nnamdi Kanu is what is playing out at the back of the mind of the people that prepared that report. So there's a lot of things that we don't see. And at the end of the day, I think it will be better for Nigeria to think more deeply about all these things and do a cost-benefit analysis. Is it costlier to keep Nnamdi Kanu in detention, or is it less costly? The answer is straightforward and beyond debate. It's far cheaper for the government to release him than holding him. Cheaper in so many different ramifications, not just materially cheaper. Politically, it's more beneficial. Diplomatically, it's more beneficial. And also, it is more beneficial in terms of the interrelationship of the various tribes and geopolitical zones in the country. So the question that should be posed to the government is that what is really your benefit in keeping him in detention? No. So release him. Thank you.
Lastly, a lot of people are coming out. Videos are making rounds to apologize to Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes, and they apologized to me as well. People that blackmailed me, a lot of them have apologized to me.
How does it feel? Even to him, Nnamdi Kanu, seeing that all his predictions about insecurity, everything is coming out on point the way he said.
Okay. I misread the apology you're talking about. I was thinking apology of those who had criticized him, the way he ran things. And they criticized me the way I ran his legal defense. And even though I succeeded in making sure it was not brought to trial when I was lead counsel, I can beat my chest and say that. So I was criticized unfairly, and some of them came out and apologized to me. Well, coming straight to the specific point of his predictions coming through and the apologies that has drawn into the public square. Well, you can say good riddance to bad rubbish. People who disbelieved what he was saying, and again, not just disbelieving. I think part of the reason the legal system treated him the way they did, in the terrible way that they treated him in the legal or judicial system in the country, is because of his speech. I said it sequel to his conviction that this is the only man I know in my legal practice between the United States and here who was convicted on mere speech, on uttering of certain words that didn't sit well with the society. You see, those words may not sit well with you as a government or a section of Nigerians. It might even be termed inconvenient, but by God, they are not illegal. So it is not good for a government of the day, to seek to suppress a free speech by means of punishment of some sort. It's not done, and it's not desirable, and it's not the way to build a unified and successful society based on progressive ideas of justice, fairness, and the truth. So I'm happy today there is some vindication. More shall come. And I think all of these things will be what will play out and parlay into a metaphor, and parlay into the decision, the ultimate decision that I referred to previously as to whether he's going to be released or not. So a change of heart is coming, and I hope pretty soon we shall see it in the open.
This is a beautiful moment with you. The lasting solution of Nigeria. Do you think that Nigeria could be redeemed? Or do you think that Nnamdi Kanu ideology of dividing the country is the only lasting solution?
Well, you see, listen, one could say this or that, and they start accusing you of trying to split the country. But listen, self-determination is one of our laws. We just have to face it. Anybody in that could Google it. Article 20 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, ratified by Nigeria in 1983 or 1984, is part of our laws. It recognizes self-determination as an inalienable right of every Nigerian, and is also recognized as a fundamental right. So when lawyers go to court to enforce your fundamental rights, they cite to the African Charter that I just cited. So it's an organic law, highly respected in this country. So if an alpha male, someone like Nnamdi Kanu, steps forward and says, I want a separate country, you don't consider it a law enforcement issue. You consider it a political issue. It's an indirect invitation to a dialogue. And in that dialogue, you may not end up with granting him his wish, but that dialogue may throw up solutions that would make the society better. In that dialogue, solutions for a better Nigeria could come, and if those solutions could not be found, maybe people might as well go their separate ways if they cannot find a common ground to coexist as a nation. That is the thesis of his agitation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed the interview. It was very interesting interview, very interesting interview, and so many important questions were asked. And Aloye Jimako, as always, a very sound lawyer, a very sound. He never beat about the bush. Whenever he's on a topic, he deals with it squarely, and any question thrown at him, he deals with it squarely. So, as we have seen and we have heard for every one of us, the new dawn is here. The new face of Biafra is here, and our responsibility is to key into the redemption of the image of Biafra, the image of the IPOB, the image of the Biafran cause. It is very important. Very important. And I want to remind you that every single one of us, we are all members of IPOB. You can't run away from it. That name cannot be changed, that title cannot be changed. We are all the indigenous people of Biafra. You can be in any group that suits you, that makes you feel good. Any group you feel that is close to you, that you like their way of doing things, it is okay. It is okay. You can be there, but most importantly, in any group you are, make sure that the unity of purpose is always the guiding rule that we have there. Unity of purpose that I have spoken about several times does not mean that we will not have arguments. It doesn't mean that we will not have misunderstanding. It doesn't mean that we will have one ideology. There will be different ideologies, different opinions, and different ideas. But in the midst of all those different ideas, there is one purpose for which we'll all gather anywhere we gather. The purpose of our gathering is self-determination. The freedom of the Biafran people. Don't ever forget that. No matter how angry you are, no matter how troubled you are, don't forget the purpose for which we gather. It is very important. And today, the prediction of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, has finally come to pass. It was Mazi Simon Ekpa that first of all led us on casting the vote of no confidence on this very sacked Department of Sabotua. The SDOX, under Chikedozium and Chinasanwood, it was Mazi Simon Ekpa that conducted the vote of no confidence, and they were taken out completely. But I thank Chukwu Kevin and Mazi Nnamdi can have done the official thing today. And when I tell you that these people, Mazi Simon Ekpa was not doing anything on his own, he is working according to the templates that Mazi Nnamdi can left. And you don't believe it, it's up to you. The same way they blackmailed Mazi Simon Ekpa, called him a terrorist, framed him up with every atrocities in Biafra land. That is what they are doing against Mazi Nnamdi today. Any place the unknown gunmen carry their mission, they will say it's Mazi Simon Ekpa. Nigerian government and their politicians will go and conduct a false flag, and they say it's Mazi Simon Ekpa. During our Monday sit at home, Nigerian government took a lot of life through their false flag, conducted and sponsored by governors. And they target Mazi Simon Ekpa. Soludo, you see what he's doing today. See what Soludo have done in Anambra State. The attack on businesses, destruction of markets. He has gone extreme. He has gone wild on different angles. He's no longer hiding his attack on Biafran people. This same Soludo was the one that was in the front line of attacking Mazi Simon Ekpa to destroy his image. This same Soludo was the person that the Department of Sabotua we are working with. At a point in time, Soludo said that the Department of Sabotua that Mazi Nnamdi has sacked today have agreed to work with him. On video, he said they agreed to work with him. And that was when they began to conduct different kinds of operations. And when they do it, they tell you it's the Liberation Army. When they tell you, they'll say it's Mazi Simon Ekpa. They blackmail and blackmail and blackmail until they played their international script and Mazi Simon was taken out. Today, finally, breeze have blown. We have seen the underneath of the foul. It is now clear that our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa has been innocent all this while. We know he's been innocent. Today, even some people are apologizing to him. And those people that came together to blackmail Mazi Simon Ekpa, they are the one today blackmailing Mazi Nnamdi because Mazi Nnamdi have sacked them completely. Mazi Nnamdi have officially put a nail on their coffin. After Mazi Simon Ekpa conducted the vote that we casted against them, they are gone and gone for good. So today, I thank Chukwu Okike for the step Mazi Nnamdi has taken and the new appointee that he has, who has now issued a statement, and his statement is amazing. Wherever you see him, Mazi Woku, respect him, accord him in respect. Wherever you see him, whatever he puts forward, we all have to encourage him, support him, and promote the cause of Biafra. It is important. It doesn't matter the group you belong. Nobody is attacking your group or telling your group not to do whatever they want to do, as long as it is for the progress of Biafra. Whatever you know you can do in your small little mushroom groups for the success of Biafra, continue to do that. Nobody is against you. But whenever instruction comes from Mazi Nnamdi, either through the 100 men or through the IPOB, DOS, the HOD that we know today, there is no doubt that we have to know that it is an instruction from Mazi Nnamdi and everybody has to key in. And if Mazi Simon ever comes out tomorrow, I strongly believe he will be very glad to walk side by side with the new HOD, with the new IPOB. IPOB is reborn, and we are going back to where we started. We are going back to our root where we started, to be whom we are. While we continue to pursue the attention of the international community and recognition to get what we want, we must continue to conduct ourselves very, very well. Forget about those your envy and jealousy and those your personal interests and all those group pursuit of group influence and whatever. It doesn't make any sense. All those your little mushroom groups doesn't make any sense. All those your personal ego, you want to show you are the one that did this and you did that, it doesn't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense today that we are supposed to pursue is collective interest of the Biafran people, to make sure that we push our matter before the whole world, for the world to pay attention and for us to get what we want. It is very important. So before we end the program, let us see if we can be able to run through their media today. Let's see what they have in their Zoological Republic media. After a very quick break, then we will go to the media and see what we can get in their media. You know why we go there? It is to also expose them with their lies and propaganda and confirm everything we have said on our own. Because, when we thought from the social media, they say, oh, it's social media. So we get conventional media, mix it up and show the world so that they can be able to comprehend what is happening. So let's have a quick break and then we go to their media.
Don't follow for Gotao. Them say Tinubu don't follow for Gotao. Tinubu don't follow for Gotao. He want to take it, that's the top of our head. Senate house fall and the criminals, country military fall and the terrorists, injustice, Omotosha forget law for inside court. Changaro Republic at the government. Abubakar Malami don't fall for Gotao. Him and EFCC put leg for shit. Them say Sheikh Kukumi don't fall for Gotao. Because Donald Trump don't come to Machamo. He go matching Boko boys, matching terrorists. As the government knows the way for kidnapping to stop. I make it don't fall for Gotao. Them making Nigerians see one die for suffer.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for being with us up to this minute as we enter into the last phase of our broadcast today. I appreciate everyone that have been patient with us up to this time. If you have not shared this broadcast, please share this broadcast. It is very important. Like and share the broadcast. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, I don't know what you are waiting for. Subscribe if you have not done so. Like and share if you have not done so. It is very important. That is the only way you can support the propagation of the gospel of truth and the gospel of freedom. So let us start from here. This one says, despite xenophobic violence, South Africa remains Nigeria's leading African trade partner. That is it. With all their cutting off your heads at them, you are still their biggest partner. Panic as false bandit alarm disrupt clashes in Kwara community schools. Police hunt women who raise the alarm. People are scared. You don't blame, people are scared. Everybody is skeptical about any information, and every information is important. So don't scare people that they will not be given information. Once you see something, say something. Nigeria to conduct national learning assessment in schools nationwide from June 29. Nonsense. Enugu Health Ministry issues alert over counterfeit augmentin 265 milligram tablet in circulation. That's sad. You see how they bring fake drugs because there is no system that is shipping us. These things are not supposed to enter the country at all. They are not supposed to. But in the borders, they will settle and they bring it in. And some idiotic people who are involved in these shady businesses are prospering. Zamfara governor distances government from 50 elders kidnapped during bandit peace talk. Ask who sent them to negotiate. Oh God. You see, this is funny. Zamfara governor, 50 elders who went to negotiate with kidnappers. The kidnappers who go kidnap all of them. They kidnapped them and kept them. And the governor is saying, the governor is distancing himself from 50 elders kidnapped during bandit peace talk. And the governor said, who sent you? Who sent you to negotiate? People are looking for solution. When the government cannot provide solution, people on their own are asking for solution. But instead of the governors now to think about the life of these people to save them first, the governor is asking, who sent you to go and negotiate with bandits? Oh God, God have mercy. God have mercy. God have mercy. This one says, watch vandals spend months in southeast forest camps to excavate, steal 3 km of Port Harcourt Kaduna pipeline. Vandals. This one they happen for Biafra land. It happened for Biafra land. Vandals spend months in southeast forest camp to excavate steel. 3 kilometers. They excavate steel 3 kilometers of Port Harcourt Kaduna pipeline. They should remove it. It's a good job. They should remove it. You are laying pipeline in the southeast from Port Harcourt all the way to Kaduna. You lay pipeline to take our resources to the north, and yet there is nothing to show for us. It's a good job. They did a good job. They are not vandals. I don't call them vandals. They did a good job. They did a good job. Remove the nonsense. You took the months in the southeast. Excavate still 3 kilometers of Port Harcourt Kaduna pipeline. Pipeline my food. They should continue. More of that. I need more of this to happen. Remove all the pipelines. All the pipelines should be taken out. They should be taken out. Mad people everywhere. Vandals excavate still. They need to do it. It's a good job. They did a good work. It's a good work. Vandals excavate still 3 kilometers of Port Harcourt Kaduna pipeline after spending months in southeast forest. It's good. They don't allow any of those nonsense to stay in our forest. Nonsense. To steal our resources and take it to the north at the same time kill us. Mad people. You are using our resources to fund our own debt, fund attack against us. And you want us to clap for you. The vandals, these are not vandals. These are genuine citizens protecting their own resources. These are citizens making sure that their resources are safe. EU Parliament rejects 156 million EU funding for Tanzania over human rights abuses, fraudulent elections. Everything in Africa is always a problem. Drama at NGC headquarters in Abuja as ADC youth swing accuses police DSS blocking petition against Justice Lifu. Ogun University declared lectures free day after student killed in Ago Iwoye armed robbery attack. UK jail ex-border officer, former Hong Kong policeman for spying on dissidents for China. No uniform, no ID, no receipt. How Kogi traffic officials allegedly turned enforcement into 50,000 extortion rackets. Not only them, that is the Nigerian system. It's happening on a daily basis. Anambra government takes custody of child of human accused of brutally abusing 10 years old house help. That abuse issue is so bad. I saw the video. It is so painful how somebody can treat a fellow human being in that manner. You are protecting your own children and you're destroying somebody's home. That was unfair. Fire engulfed multi-story building on Lagos Island, housing Polaris Bank, others. Who know the one they want to hide? When they want to hide something, they bomb building. We know that now. Terrorists attack 80-seaters passengers bus along Kaba Okene Highway in Kogi, abduct all occupants. That is the kind of news you hear in Nigeria. The terrorists are in charge. They come and abduct whenever they want, any one time they like, anytime they want. That's the burning building. That's the building on fire. They must have stolen something now. They set the place on fire. We've seen that. That is Nigeria for you. That is the zoo for you. Which one is this one? This one says, "End Ashawo, end the Murumiri, angry Enugu women protect accused sex workers of taking over husbands." Enugu people, they protest. Say sex workers don't take all their husband finish. They don't take their husband, they protest. There are more things to protest than this one, my sisters. There are better things to protest than these ones. Ekiti governorship election, INEC distributes sensitive materials to council, confirm over 1 million registered voters. Mad people. Nigerian court martial president threatened Nigerian court martial. Nigerian court martial president threatens phone seizure, warns lawyers to stop leaking secret calls. Trial details. Nonsense. They are coming to America by Azu Ishekwene. Again, U.S. warns citizen not to travel to Russia over insecurity amid Ukraine war. How police use IPOB narrative to bury unsolved killings, cover up wrongful arrests, others in Southeast Nigeria. This is absolute. This is what they do. This is what Nigerian government is doing every day. Even as we speak, it's still going on. The police use on IPOB is not a terrorist organization. IPOBs are not committing any crime. They have not done any crime. They have not taken the life of anybody. But thousands of people their life have been taken because of the prosecution of IPOB. The only thing a policeman needs to see on you is a signal of Biafra, and they will take your life and tag you IPOB. Many people have lost their life. Thousands of people have disappeared. Many in detention simply because they identify with IPOB. Some of them are not even members of IPOB. Some of them are not members of IPOB. So this is what is happening. How police use IPOB narrative to bury unsolved killings. When they commit their crime, they will tag. Once they say it's IPOB, nobody investigates anymore. Once they mention IPOB, no more investigation. It is done. God have mercy. God have mercy. And this has been happening over and over. Let me see if we can be able to read the text on what they actually wrote. Because I know that this is not just this is just more than you can ever imagine. Let's see if we can be able to read this. Exclusive. How police use IPOB narrative to bury unsolved killings, cover up wrongful arrests, orders in Southeast Nigeria. That is what is happening. It didn't start today, my brother. It's been a long time. However, interviews with families of victims, retired police officers, human rights advocates, lawyers, and examination of police documents reveal a deeper crisis inside Nigerian criminal justice system. This is a fact. In the last 5 years, a troubling pattern has emerged across Nigeria, Southeast. Violent crimes, political assassination, criminal killings, and controversial arrests. are frequently and swiftly linked by security agencies in the indigenous people of Biafra. That is what they do. Once they want to cover all the things, they just put Biafra. And its arms wing, the Eastern Security Network, ESN, when before often before detailed investigation are concluded. Yes, before ever they make investigation, they just tell you that it's IPOB. We have been seeing it over and over again. Before investigation, they will just tell you it's IPOB and the case is dead. It is the truth. However, interview with families of victims, retired police officers, human rights advocates, lawyers, and examination of police documents reveal a deeper crisis inside Nigerian criminal justice system. Hurried narrative, weak investigation, political pressure, and alleged police misconduct have combined to obscure accountability in some of the region's most controversial killings. Anything that happens, they just target IPOB, and that's it, and it's done. At the center of the investigation is the assassination of Labour Party senatorial candidate for Enugu East, Chief Oyibo Chukwu. His murder days before the 2023 general election shocked the country. More than 3 years later, the family insists justice has been buried under what they describe as deliberate police cover-up and politically motivated deflection. The killing that changed Enugu political atmosphere. On the 9th of February 22nd, 2023, barely 48 hours before Nigerian presidential and National Assembly election, gunmen ambushed and killed Oyibo Chukwu at Amechi Akwakona in Enugu South local government area. The assailant shot him alongside his aide and set their vehicle ablaze. Instead of investigating, they will tell you, oh, it is IPOB. That is the man that was murdered. That's the man. That's the man. The late politician, former chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, Oji River branch, was a Labour Party candidate for the Enugu East Senatorial District and was widely considered a strong challenge in the former Enugu governor and then Senator Chimaroke Nnamdi. The murder sent shockwave through the state. At the time, Labour Party leader alleged that political opponents threatened by the party growing popularity were behind coordinated attack, targeted opposition figures. Then, Labour Party governorship candidate in Enugu State, Chijioke Edom, said party members had become targets for systemic violence. But within hours of attack, the Enugu State Police Command publicly linked the killing to IPOB ESN. That is what they do every time. It is not the first time. It is not. We have been seeing it over and over again. When something happens, they will say it is ESN. It is sad. Police impose movement restriction, deploy operative ahead of Enugu senatorial by-election. U.S. Justice Department charges 15 persons, including 11 illegal immigrants, for 1.4 million fraud. U.S. allies offer Iran $300 billion reconstruction deal as 14-point peace agreement documents emerges. Edo Police Command debunks kidnapping of school children, arrests residents for false alarm. Malawi evacuates over 1,200 citizens from South Africa amid rising xenophobic attack on migrants. US military lift blockade of Iranian port after peace deal. Finally, peace is returning. Nigeria will be next. $6 billion Mambila fraud. Witness in ex-minister Ogulaye's trial claim FEC record is authentic. Edo Governor Egbabolo vowed to publicly hang anyone convicted of kidnapping at roundabout set up special court. This one don't start on that one. Hanging in the public, it's a human rights abuse. That is not going to stop kidnapping. You're going to stop kidnapping. You're in a democratic time. Some of these idiots that call themselves governors, I don't know where they are coming from. You think that is going to stop your kidnapping? Nonsense. Exclusive 12 foreign ex-employees accused Nigerian construction giant Dandata and Seoul of withholding 3,500 euro in unpaid entitlement. I'm not going to open this, I don't know what is there. African Union condemned terrorist attack on Niamey Airport in Niger Republic. Maybe you want to send them, we're going to work with France. EFC witness revealed charts showing Akwa Ibom man allegedly defraud foreign lover of $14,000. Nigerian Nurses Forum raises alarm over murder of award-winning students. 6 scholarship for victims' brother. Socialist worker League demand reversal of Showere's bail revocation, condemn judicial intimidation. Showere is their nightmare. They want to silence him by all means. I was selling chin-chin, not robbing people. Kiri inmate plead as CDHR takes case to Lagos Attorney General. Many innocent people are there in Kiri. Many innocent people. So many of them. Nigerian retirees appeal to Tinubu governors, lament silent crisis facing pensioners over delayed gratuity. How Ebonyi youths were lured with fake job, held hostage, tortured in Enugu luxury estate. You won't try. Everything is happening in the zoo. Exclusive Rwandan inmate death at Kuje prison triggers probe by Abuja panel into alleged neglect extortions. A Rwandan man died in Kuje. US congressman called Trump Iran deal a surrender agreement, vow to vote against it. They call it a surrender. We shall see. Kuje prison officials plotting to target Showore if remanded there following Sahara reporters exposed. They are already plotting what they will do against Showore. US intelligence released file alleging Dr. Fauci funded risky Wuhan research, misled Congress on COVID's origins. See? We knew it was all a fake that time. We knew all was fake. We knew. But what could we do? Police raid Anambra drug den, rescue 15-year-old pregnant girl allegedly abused by multiple men. Nigerian activists call for action against South African minister over alleged threats to cut oxygen